This video was kind of a proof of concept, show you kind of how I set up my rifle and kind of my thought behind it. And unfortunately, I don't necessarily have the means to include the industry standard, very cool footage at the beginning of me shooting the rifles. I don't have access to private land to do those kind of things at the moment, and filming that kind of stuff at a shooting range is kind of weird, kind of out of my comfort zone. Let's go over my AR build and kind of talk about the philosophy on how I put this thing together. So the whole premise of the video is that you can indeed put together a reliable rifle that can be duty grade, and you could possibly depend your life on it for a very constrained budget. It's kind of actually a very simple thing to put together. So I bought both the upper and the lower from PSA. Very simple, not much intricate part sourcing, So the lower is a very simple, just like regular PSA lower. Okay, nothing special there. The lower itself, it came with your standard A2 pistol grip and stock, and the full lower was $150. Now the upper itself came stripped, which means no charging handle, no ball carrier. What it does come with is a FN barrel. This is probably one of the best barrels on the market, called Hammer Forge, chrome lined, an incredible barrel. This is the heavy profile, so not the government profile, heavy profile, which is a bit thicker. And the government profile has the slots for the grenade launcher, which unfortunately I don't need. So this rifle is a 14.5. It is pin and welded with the A2 birdcage. That's one thing that some people might not like. Whatever muzzle device you choose is kind of what you're stuck with. So far I have the A2, which it's a perfectly nice muzzle device, but if I wanted to get a suppressor in the future, it would have to be a suppressor that can only mount on a A2 muzzle device, which is not ideal, right? Most suppressors have better mounting systems. Regardless, I really like this setup. I like the 14.5 FN barrel, a super nice barrel. So happy with that. It's a very nice length. Trust me, in a house, this is great. And you don't have to deal with BS, paperwork, and tax stamps, and notifying the government when you go across state lines. Ball carrier group. I went for Toolcraft. So I kind of look into the kind of tool steels and different metallurgy they use in bolts, and the Toolcraft seem like it uses a very pretty much standardized metal that I will include in the video. But again, very reputable manufacturer for ball carrier groups. They actually seem to be the OEM for a lot of bigger brands, right? So brands will bulk buy from them, and then they put their own logo on it. With sales, you can estimate $70 to $100. And then charging handle. I'm not a fan of tricky or intricate charging handles by any means. This is a standard GI charging handle. I don't see the benefits of spending a lot of money on a charging handle. This is just a simple one. It does the job. I did swap out some furniture. It's not necessarily important, right? But I think it helps, especially for ergonomics. The grip itself, I think it's something that is nice to change. I like the BCM because inexpensive, and also it does change the grip angle. You get a more vertical angle, so you're not tilting your wrist, kind of with the A2. You don't have any that stupid finger groove in the middle. Just a very comfortable grip. It just fits so nicely, and then it just places your finger like right in line with the trigger guard. It's not kind of like bending in any weird way. This is the B5 stock. It's not the sock motor version, which I had. I kind of wanted this because I kind of like the slimmer profile, and it still has a nice cheek weld. So this is also a bit of an upgrade over the stock, but not a necessary one. I think it's more of a luxury thing. For the opposite setup, the Olasan. This is the standard kind of in-point based Olasan. Forgot the model. And then it is on an Arizaka 193 mount. This mount was $99, and it's not a bad price, honestly speaking. The machining is nice, nice hardware. It's been very solid. I torqued it down, Loctite it, never had an issue. Now, optic height is a total personal preference. Personally, I like it because what it does is that it allows your neck to kind of maintain its shape, stay more upright without having to like bend down all the way to kind of see through the optic. Kind of allows you to keep a more relaxed position. This light is made by Cranston Trace, which is kind of an OG company. I think it's advertised a 1000 lumen. It's a great light. Pressure pad that comes with it has on, off, and then momentary. And it also ships with just a regular like push cap and key mod, M-lock, and pick rail attachments. It is a very good option and it's very powerful, especially in a like house. It will light up house like it's daytime. But also, I've used this in a pitch night forest, Milsom West, in the middle of the night, and the difference was astonishing with what other people were running. You could light up a whole dirt road, and it was crazy. It was nice. I liked it a lot. So I can very vouch for the performance of this light. Nothing special about the trigger, the total mil-spec trigger. This is the problem, it kind of drags a little bit, right? So you'll have some take up, and then the brake, and then for reset, the reset is actually not bad. The problem is kind of this take up that it'll drag, but then you can actually feel a wall, right? You can feel the wall. And then it's actually pretty nice right there. So, not an amazing trigger by any means, but it's okay. Okay, let's break down the cost of this thing. Starting with the lower, $150, you get the complete package, nothing else you need, okay? Upper receiver, this on sale again, mid 400. Don't remember exactly the price point. What we need is a bolt and a charging handle. So bolt was $80, charging handle $15. That comes out at $95. So we have $695. Gives you the shootable rifle. Optics, a very, very personal thing. For me, the setup was 100 for the mount, 140 for the dot. So that puts you 240. Complete without the light, which is under $100, not worrying about the furniture, which is not a need. You're right under $1,000 for a rifle that will give you a ton of performance for the money. Can you go cheaper? Yes, absolutely, you can go cheaper. I just saw on PSA they had uppers the uppers are pretty constant at around $120, $150. So again, you can't really go much cheaper than that. But when it comes to uppers, you can go cheaper. PSA will have sales where you can get complete uppers for $300. They're not gonna have a DFN barrel, but they're still gonna be good uppers. And I think we're gonna start changing categories to where I wouldn't necessarily define it as a duty level rifle. Something like this, I think could definitely fit in that category. Again, I shot these things many times and I had it for a few years. Never had a single malfunction. I don't shoot nice ammo. I absolutely don't like buying nice ammo because I'm cheap. For the first part of ownership of this rifle, I was shooting steel case ammo only because those were still, good and cheap and able to buy those. After that, I started buying remanufactured brass cased ammunition. So not by any means not the good stuff. I just bought the cheapest ammunition I could find. I use a mix of either the Lancer magazines, which I started using maybe like a year ago, and I actually really like these. You got these like nice metal feed ramps. They have nice grip. The translucent is kind of cool. I really like these. But also obviously the mix of P-mags in there, which always are reliable. I hope this served somewhat as insight of this, provide some information out there. Guys, check PSA out. Obviously no affiliation there, but I do really like their stuff. I like their company. I like what you can get out there. No need to be snobs and buy stupid expensive stuff where it's no need. I don't think this rifle is gonna perform much worse than a Daily Defense by any means. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know what you think of it. Discord is open for you guys. Good community out there, join up, and I'll see you on the next one.